Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the Iowa House. Thank you for taking a few minutes to listen to a problem I think we need to address in this state with legislation involving manufactured home communities, or mobile home parks, as many people call them. 2 years ago, this April, our mobile home park in Waukee was sold to an out-of-state private equity firm. Now, this is happening all over our state. Typically, these manufactured home communities were owned by local people that lived in the community, and everything worked out great. I want to give you a little background on what happened at our manufactured home community when this out-of-state equity firm purchased it. The first thing that came out was a schedule of rent increases. And they called those, to me, when I talked to them, market rates. These folks are lucky that we didn't sell the land didn't sell to a big box store. That was never the plan. The plan was to buy these and to rent these out. They're going to make all these big improvements. You're going to like it better. Then we started seeing fee increases, $5, $10. Then we started hearing a lot from residents, if you don't like it here, you can leave. These companies then have that lot available because what they told me, they said, well, if they abandon a mobile home, just take it to the landfill. Our law, and I'll give you some examples of this in a minute. Our laws are too one-sided. We have two property owners here. The people that own the parks and the people that own their homes. They know they can't leave. These homes can't be moved for the most part. They're too old, or the owner's going to cost $5,000 to move it. And then where do you go? I heard once is now we have a captive audience, is the word I heard. We need equal and fair protection for the homeowner. Over decades, our current manufactured homeowner rights are not as strong as if you would rent an apartment. They own their own home. I want us to remember that. This is their home. We need laws that protect these homeowners. And the two major ones that I see is in no-fault eviction. You can be evicted from a mobile home community in 60 days with no cause. Number two, you can have your rent increased in 60 days with just notification. We need to work on yearly leases where rent can't go up during that time. If you live in an apartment and have a lease and your rent can't go up, we need to, if you don't have a lease, then we need at least 6 months before your rent can go up. And we need to get cause for eviction. If you break your lease, then you can be evicted. And that is fair. There's also other items in retaliation, consumer fraud, utility fee transparency that we can all talk about when we start writing a bill. These owners are typically on fixed income or lower income. I'm going to give you some examples. Like I said I would, what happened in Waukee. As I was out knocking doors, I sat with a lady in her manufactured home, and I asked her how things was going, sat her on her couch. She'd been there since the 80s. The home was neat as a pin. She says, Ken, I'll tell you how it's going. At the end of the month now, that my rent has nearly doubled, I have $35 left over. She's using a food pantry, which is fine. I recommended it to her. She said, I'll tell you another story. You see this fixed thermostat sitting over on the wall? I said, yeah. She said, I had to make a decision whether to fix that or to pay my rent. Well, she paid her rent, thermostat went out, and her pipes froze. So here she sits, 70 years old, showering at the YMCA. Christmas week, this year, after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, had a call from somebody I know in there and talked to over the last 2 years. She'd been complaining about her rent and about some fee increases. And now she called me because she was fearing because she was going to get evicted. And it was a real fear. My wife and I were driving through this summer, as we typically do once a quarter, just to go out and see what's going on. I stopped over, it was during COVID, so I wasn't knocking doors, but I pulled over, there was some family outside. I asked them how things were going. She says, well, we're leaving Thursday. I said, really, where are you going? She says, I really don't know yet. She was evicted for no cause. She bought her manufactured home for $62,000. She had sold it for $22,000. There's a lot of fear out there in these communities. Once again, they've been told time and time again, if you don't like what we're doing, you can leave. To give you an example, in Waukee, the rent was 2 years ago, $320. Now it's $547 a month for a piece of ground. Then there's a bunch of nickel and dime fees. Garbage cans went up $2 and some, but if you have 2 garbage cans, it's another $12. Sewer charges, water fees, $5-10 here. May not seem a lot to many of us sitting in this room, but it's real money for a lot of people. We talked about all the improvements that they're going to do. They've asphalted a few streets. They put a small playground in, told everybody else they had to take their swing sets down out of their own property because of the new rules. This is happening across the state. To my surprise, there's over 600 mobile home parks in this state, or manufactured home communities. We are the voice. This should be a priority next year. We need balance. We need capitalism with guardrails. I believe in capitalism, but it needs guardrails. Things are changing. I'm not faulting the good owners that are out there. There's been a lot of times, there's been a lot of local owners that do things just right. These islands need our help. They're residents. When I was raised down Southern Island, my folks taught me right is right and wrong is wrong. This we need to fix. I want to thank Representative Posey. I want to thank Representative Holt. I know they've been working on this. I want to offer to this body, we're going to be having meetings over the summer. If anyone would like to attend and learn more, please let me know, and I'd be glad to give them the times. I want to close with this message I received on March 5th. As a homeowner, this from a constituent, as a homeowner at Midwest Country Estates in Waukee, I am writing with concerns about rent increases, extra fees, and no-fault evictions. My rent has gone from $320 a month to $500 in 2 years. I'm retired, I'm disabled, and I'm scared. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.